Welcome. Progressive efforts resulted in four major pieces of legislation during the Progressive period. These are called the Progressive Amendments and are the subject of this video assignment. They are the 16th, 17th, 18th, and 19th Amendments. The 16th Amendment initiated the graduated income tax in 1913. Thus, you can thank the Progressives for April 15th and the Internal Revenue Service. Progressives believed that this would end the nation's reliance on the tariff on imported manufactured goods and a federal tax on liquor. In practical terms, this means with the 16th Amendment, the tariff issue goes completely away and we don't discuss it again in U.S. history. And the 16th Amendment also provides a means by which progressives can ban alcohol during the 1920s. The 17th Amendment allowed for the direct election of U.S. senators, also passed in 1913. Progressives thought that there was too much corruption going on behind closed doors of the state legislatures. There were too many deals being made in the smoke-filled back room. You might recall back in Reconstruction, the Northern Republicans worked out a deal with David Davis to get him off the Electoral Commission. They offered him a Senate seat in Illinois. The 17th Amendment also, by allowing senators to be elected directly by the people, demonstrate that senators can carry swing states. Thus, it paves the way to make it easier for senators to run for president of the United States. And in fact, since 1913, running for president from the Senate has become a popular launching point. The 18th Amendment prohibited the manufacture, sale, and transportation of liquor. It was passed in 1919. First question you may ask yourself is, what were the progressives thinking, banning liquor? Well, efforts to ban the evil vice of alcohol have been going on since the beginning of the nation. In fact, one reason Alexander Hamilton pushed a whiskey tax in 1791 was to convince Americans to stop drinking. Efforts to ban alcohol persisted throughout the 19th century, and then finally temperance supporters got their way immediately after World War I, after reports came about local soldiers' camps and the epidemic of the Spanish flu. This movement began in the 1820s and finally succeeded when it tied its cause to women's suffrage in the North, and it tied its message to segregation in the South. Again, also it did not hurt when Prohibition forces got a national income tax, for that ended the federal government's, quote, addiction to the bottle, eliminated that excise tax. The 18th Amendment, just in case you're wondering, was repealed in 1933. The 19th Amendment allowed for women's suffrage, and it was passed in 1920. Finally, women get the right to vote. Progressives championed women's suffrage because they thought women would bring a kindness and gentleness to government that had not existed before, bring a kindness and gentleness to politics that had not existed before. They were wrong. Voter records from the 1920s on going forward show that women politic and vote just like the men. The significance of these progressive amendments, the 16th Amendment that passed the national income tax, the 17th Amendment that allowed for the direct election of U.S. senators, the 18th Amendment that banned the manufacture, sale, and transportation of liquor, and the 19th Amendment that allowed women to vote, proved that progressives were successful in their attempts to return politics back into the hands of the people through the 17th and 19th Amendments. And it best demonstrates the progressives' efforts at political reform. But on the other hand, the passage of the 21st Amendment in 1933, this is the amendment that appeals the 18th Amendment, proves that progressives were limited in legislating morality. The progressives embodied impulse reform through government action. The most popular method to enact reform was regulatory action. Differences existed on urban and rural background lines, as progressivism transcended political parties. Progressives came from both sides of the aisle. Thus, President Theodore Roosevelt, who was a Republican, was a leading progressive, as was Woodrow Wilson, who was a Democrat. Thank you for watching this video assignment on the Progressive Amendments, and may the force be with you.